When I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my end of the year video, the first thing that came to mind was the old school favorites videos that I always used to grow up watching on YouTube. I couldn't get the thoughts stuck out of my head, so I'm gonna do that today. A 2024 favorites roundup across a lot of different categories. You know, sometimes reflecting is super serious and sometimes it's a little bit more playful and fun like this, but that doesn't take away from the fact that these items have really helped make my year more enjoyable. There's a lot to talk about though, so I'm gonna try and keep this intro short and get right into it. I say that, but I do want to address the fact that I am at my parents' place for the holidays. We're in the library, the home library, my favorite room in the house. Lots of books back here that I read in my teens, and it just feels very cozy to be here doing this video. But I am filming on my iPhone because I didn't bring my camera tripod, so if this looks a little bit different than my other videos, that's why. We're making do. This first product feels very appropriate to be talking about in an old school YouTube style video. It is the Physicians Formula Glow and Mood Boosting Blush. Physicians Formula is one of those brands I just grew up with and grew up hearing people talk on the internet about. I still use their butter bronzer pretty daily as well. I've pretty much had the same makeup routine for the past few years, and this new edition really kind of just added some life to, I feel like, my daily makeup look, because I didn't used to wear blush daily, and this one has made me or inspired me to wear blush more because I just think it just adds this really nice glow to my skin. 2024 has also been the year that I finally embraced oils into my skincare routine. The first oils I've been experimenting with, I have like a small bottle here at my parents so that I don't have to lug it back and forth. But this is castor oil, nothing special there. I feel like a lot of people talk about castor oil. I've really been loving using this on my face to just kind of add some moisture, especially as we're heading into the thick of winter here in Canada. How I'll use it is I pour like a dime amount, very little amount. That's why it takes forever to get through a jar like this. And I dab some underneath my eyes. I put some on my forehead, on my like mouth area, and then I lock it in with my nightly moisturizer. And then I just feel like I wake up feeling very dewy, and that's a great way to wake up in the winter because then I wash my face and kind of have a good base to start my day with. I was recommended this oil by someone in my life, and I tried it a few months ago and I just love using it. The Bee by the Sea Buckthorn and Honey Bee Luxe Body Oil. Again, you don't need to use much of this stuff, just like a couple pumps. Like the castor oil, this one has a certain scent to it that isn't too overpowering, but definitely is there. How I use it is once I get out of the shower, I just like quickly dry myself, and while my skin is still wet, I get this out, pump it onto my hand, and lather it everywhere. And again, this is something that I lock in with moisturizer, so something like the Necessaire body lotion that is unscented, or CeraVe has an unscented body lotion that I really love using with this as well. I try and go unscented because this has a scent and you don't want to like combine scents and get overpowering. Sometimes I apply them both at the same time by adding some moisturizer to my hand and then the oil and making like a moisturizer cocktail. Really love this, and it just makes my skin feel so soft the next day. I did buy this at my local health food store, so hopefully I can find a link to it. I'll include links to everything that I can find in the description box below, just to let you know, as I always do. Full disclosure, I did receive this item for free, and I want to like emphasize that because it is a higher ticket price item. It is the Shark Flex Style hair tool. Whenever I'm sent something that's a bit on that pricier side, I always make sure to ask myself, would I pay today for this item to stay in my life? And I honestly would say yes to the Shark Flex Style. I haven't had the opportunity to try out the Dyson Airwrap or any, I feel like there's a few of these like hair dryer curling tools out on the market. So I was really pumped to finally be able to get my hands on this because, as we know, I tend to curl my hair quite a bit. I'm not curling my hair today, but on a typical day, I have my hair curled. I love styling it that way. Admittedly, I'm still getting the hang of the curling attachments and trying to figure out how to make my curl last in the same way that a traditional curling iron does. But I think what's kind of shocked me about this hair tool is how much I love the ability to do multiple things with it. So this has really replaced my hair dryer because you can turn it like this and it is super powerful. It dries my hair really fast. I've only ever owned like a drugstore hair dryer before, and this one is such a noticeable upgrade for that. There's also this brush attachment, which hopefully you can't see all the hair on it right now. I need to clean it, but I love using this tool to both blow dry and style my hair. It's looking really smooth and kind of a little bit of a blowout look. Got a flyaway attachment that I really like on this thing too. I just think as a whole, especially these days because it's been going on sale so much, because I think there's like a newer version of this unit out there, but I think it's worth it just because of the ability it has to do so many different things. Have I gotten rid of my curling iron? No, I still think the curling iron serves a certain purpose in my life, but I will say that I'm not using it nearly as often as I once did, because even like right now, I feel totally fine having my hair a little bit more, it's not like perfectly straight, but just a little bit more on the natural side, because I used this tool yesterday to kind of dry my hair and it just left it with a really nice finish that I was happy with. So more experimentation will be happening next year, and I really want to perfect the curling game with it, but I've been very pleasantly surprised with how functional this has been in my life. Hand sanitizer kind of sounds lame to include on this list, but honestly, this one by Sage is so distinct and different from any hand sanitizer that I've used before that I have to mention it. First of all, it's a spray bottle, which I have been embracing the spray hand sanitizers. Dr. Bronner's also makes a peppermint and a lavender one that I have used countless bottles of, but this has been like the newest one I've introduced into my life this year, and I really like it honestly for the scent. It's this beautiful citrus scent that you actually want to spritz on your hand. Oh, it's fantastic. Truly, it's one of those hand sanitizers that whenever I offer it to someone, they're like, whoa, what is that? That's a really nice hand sanitizer. Also, it comes in this metal bottle that just feels luxurious when you're using it, but also kind of keeps the product on the cooler side. So it feels very refreshing when you're using it to clean your hands, and psychologically that just makes me feel like it's doing something more, even though I know it absolutely isn't. I've talked so much about the Summer Fridays lip butter balm that I actually considered excluding it from this video because I didn't want to over talk about it again, but at the same time I love it and it deserves to be on this video because I've gone through my favorite color and repurchased it. So like that's how much I really do enjoy it, which is rare because I feel like with lip products I'm always on the hunt to try new things. I am wearing it today and it's not like a hugely intense color. It's got this warmth to it and it's just a little bit more exciting than a clear lip balm. I will say, do I think this is like a traditional lip balm in the sense that it's like super hydrating? No, but it's more hydrating than a lipstick. So I feel like it fits that in between of like, yes, I want something that's kind of giving my lips a barrier, but also I want to feel like I'm putting something on, getting some color on there. You may remember that 2024 was also the year that I discovered press-on nails. I don't have any press-on nails today. I've taken a break with it because I did go through, I think, a 3 or 4 month period of constantly having press-on nails on. I specifically really love the Glamnetic press-on nails because when I put them on, they actually stay on, which is always something that I doubted about press-ons, but they've come a long way. Believe it or not, when I use these press-ons, I always bought the short version, the short nail version, and they still looked so long on me. I think that's why I like taking a little bit of a step back from them because I don't want that like extreme length every day. So I need them to come out with like a super short version so it looks a little bit more natural, because I think if they were a little bit closer to my actual nail size, I'd really be all in on them like all day. So when I started 2024, I didn't own a single pair of traditional sweatpants. If you hear that and feel the immediate need to judge me, I don't even blame you because I'm judging myself for that. I used to wear my Align leggings from Lululemon as my like sweat pant around the house, and that's just not, it's not a sweatpant. So anyways, we have rectified the situation. I now have too many sweatpants in my life, and honestly one of my favorite pairs has been the Aritzia cargo short or cargo sweatpant, not short. It has these pockets in the butt area, and honestly Garage has a really great dupe too. I have a few pairs from them that are a similar style at a cheaper price point. The only reason I will say that I think when it comes to a cargo sweatpant, Aritzia does have a little bit of a step up here because the pocket on the butt is stitched. It won't flap open. Yes, like that opening in the middle is there, but the edges stay down. And I just find sometimes with the ones that aren't stitched, you have to just be mindful, even when it's drying, that those flaps stay down so it doesn't dry in a weird crinkly way. I love this navy color in particular. I got the accompanying sweater. I think I also have these in a gray. So comfortable. They wash really well. I don't dry them or put them in the dryer. I hang dry them. So I think that's really is what has helped preserve the life of them. I know everyone's talking about the Gap revival, and wow, is it justified, because I also really love their sweatpants as well. They have like these sweatpants that have darting in the back, so on the butt area I just feel like it gives you some nice shape, because that's my big issue with sweatpants, is I don't want to feel frumpy. So even though I've embraced sweatpants in my life, I do make sure that I'm trying them on before I commit to purchasing them, because I want to make sure there's something I still feel good in. So if you've got sweatpant recommendations, let me know. Speaking of Gap, another clothing item that I've really embraced from them this year is their modal sleep pajamas. Modal fabric is super soft, super classic fit and style, long pants, long arms, super cozy, something I've just been living in lately. Another thing that I didn't own at the beginning of the year that I now own is a jean jacket. I finally got this one from Levi's. It's the 90s style trucker jacket. This oversized fit just felt a lot more approachable and usable in my wardrobe than I think a more classic fitting jean jacket. I wore it so much this fall. When people say a jean jacket is a closet staple, I now understand it really is a closet staple, because it has that functionality component of just being able to work with so many different things. Who knew? Apparently everyone, just not me. Another Levi's find that I have worn so much that I need to actually like shove this into the washing machine, because it's starting to look a little funky. This is a tote bag from Levi's that I just again like think is so classic looking, but also feels a little bit more exciting than just a regular canvas tote bag, because it has this color blocking with the green. Usually in the summer months and the warmer weather, I'm more of a crossbody smaller bag person, but I really didn't steer away from the tote bag. There's just so much functionality to it. It's light, so it doesn't feel like you're lugging around this big heavy bag, but admittedly in the city, it is really nice to have a solid tote that you can rely on, because it makes errands and grabbing things just so much easier to be able to have somewhere to put it. And then another purse that I use so much this year is the Coach Terry Hobo Bag. It's been nicknamed by the internet as the book purse because it is so roomy that it can fit a book. A whole paperback copy of Crescent City can fit into this purse. I did buy it before it went kind of viral on the internet, which I was a little like, oh damn, why is it going viral? Because now it seems like I bought it because everyone's talking about it, but I genuinely just was drawn to the shape of the bag, to the classicness of it. I think this is a purse that, you know, even if I don't wear it as much as I did in 2024, it's something that I'll be able to find and incorporate into my wardrobe for years to come. There was a big black mid-size purse gap in my wardrobe, so I'm really glad I got that met this year, and hopefully in 2025, I can do something a little fun. I don't feel like I have a lot of fun accessories. In the home department, I think one of the things that I have loved the most, and you might laugh at me because again, it's kind of the same vein as the hand sanitizer. Who gets excited about this? But me, I get excited about it. It is an automatic hand soap dispenser. I have one in my kitchen and one in my bathroom, both from Umbra, and I really like them. They're battery operated. I don't know what else really to say about these except for the fact that I love the fact that I don't have to touch a hand soap dispenser anymore. That brings a lot of peace to my life. I've been using nonstick ceramic pans from Caraway for a couple years now, and I still use them in my kitchen. I still love them. But this year I did want to experiment a little bit with a stainless steel pan. So I just chose to get one, a pretty inexpensive one from HomeSense by Cuisinart. I think like it's kind of reframing the way I look at pans. I used to think stainless steel was really hard to cook with, and it does have a little bit of a learning curve to figuring out how to make stainless steel nonstick. There's actually a lot of great valuable videos on the internet, on TikTok and on Instagram, that taught me how to get my stainless steel to a place where it won't be a sticky mess. But yeah, it's been something I've been using every day pretty much to now make my eggs. I'd say 90% of my pots I own are stainless steel, and some of them, one of them in particular, I've had since the first year of university, which was 2015, almost 10 years, and honestly, it still looks brand new. So when you do invest in really good stainless steel products, it is an investment, something that you will have in your kitchen for ages. Again, I'm still using my ceramic nonstick pans for certain things, so you know, I have more experimentation to do to kind of get like fully confident with stainless steel. But if you have been contemplating it yourself, I encourage you to give it a try this year. My office got a major upgrade this year in the form of a carpet. I've always wanted to put an area rug in this room to kind of cozyify it, especially since it became my office, because there was just this big gap of floor in the middle of the room that I did not love. It didn't feel very cozy, and I just felt like the perfect area rug would really level up that room. One day when I was out shopping, I came across this Rifle Paper & Co. area rug, and it just took me aback because it's unlike any area rug that I've really seen before. But this one was like something that was different and fun. I loved all like the florals and life in the area rug pattern. I brought it home and I just think it adds like the most beautiful color to that room. Because I did bring in the area rug, that meant that my office chair suddenly wasn't like gliding as smoothly. But I knew I just did not want to keep that plastic cover anymore. So did you know you can replace the wheels on your office chair to a rollerblade wheel, and then all of a sudden it'll glide on your floors. I bought them from Amazon. I did have to buy specific ones for my IKEA chair that were compatible with it, but now that I've upgraded those wheels, the chair glides and has no issues on the carpet. I've got now a new carpet in that room. It just has really made my office a lot more pleasing to operate in. Even for filming, it's nice to be able to sit on the floor on a carpet rather than on hardwood. Speaking of carpets, in my living room in particular, I had noticed that my hair was just clinging for dear life to this carpet. So also on Amazon, I got a lint hair remover. It's a special metal one, basically like a hairbrush for your carpet. It just like scrapes up all the hair. And whenever I do a pass of this on my area rug in my living room, I have so many different little hairballs that clump up. Pretty disgusting, but necessary to do just to keep the maintenance of my area rug, especially because I have like a light area rug. I feel like you notice hair if it gets too much. I'm pretty sure these are designed for if you have dogs. So thank goodness I don't apparently have a dog, because who would have more hair in that carpet? I'm not sure, me or the dog. The Kobo Libra color has been another huge 2024 favorite for me. Again, something that was admittedly gifted to me, but something I would repurchase with this caveat. I think if you already have an e-reader that is like fairly new, like in the last couple of years, you probably don't need a colored e-reader to spend the money on a colored e-reader. But I do think I've been surprised by how much I have loved being able to annotate in color. I don't really care about seeing book covers in color, although that's a really nice added bonus to having a colored e-reader. But being able to annotate with the stylus, write notes in the margin, and have that be done in color, but also have different colored highlights to track different things in your ebook. One color might be for plot points and one color might be for favorite quotes. I love like that added organization ability. I am using my Kindle still, and I probably still read a majority of the books on my Kindle just because my whole library is on my Kindle. So it's been hard to like completely switch over to the Kobo Life, but as I've talked a lot about, I love using Libby. In Canada, you can only integrate Libby with Kobo e-readers. And that Libby overdrive integration allows me to borrow ebooks from the library. And I've done that more than ever this year because I can actually do it on my e-reader. Speaking of Libby, it is through Libby that I discovered a form of audiobooks I've never tried before this year. And they're called graphic audio novels. This company does these books for only a select amount of series, one of which was Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. And what makes a graphic audio novel different than an audiobook is that the graphic audio novel has different actors for the different characters' voices. It has sound effects, so if someone's like walking, you hear footsteps. If it's raining, you're hearing rain. If someone's opening a door, you hear that. You don't have as much of the he said, she said, Sarah said, Jake said kind of dialogue integrated. They make the script a little bit more, it plays a little bit more like a movie because you've got different voice actors. Anyone who I've told about it to has like been so intrigued by it, and I've gotten like friends to try them out as well. So I want to see what other series they have because I'm a fan, as is evident. I don't know what it is, but I've just really been liking straight up wired headphones lately. Don't get me wrong, I love a Bluetooth moment too, but there has been like so many times where I just run out of battery with my Bluetooth headphones. So just having a set of wired headphones always around has saved me more times than I'd like to admit this year. I know some people have like really embraced wired headphones just for like the look of it too this year. Like, ooh, it's a little bit cooler to have the wired look old school, but it's been less about that, more about the whole like just being able to have access to audio capabilities when I need it, because I'm a little bit bad with charging, but I'm gonna get better. Yes, you deal with sometimes the occasional not like I am right now, but there is something great about them. One of my favorite apps this year has been Literary Clock. It is one that I've really embraced because it allows me to add a widget to my iPhone home screen that tells me the time through book quotes. So much fun. There's so many times where I'm checking the time that I end up getting distracted by the quote that they've chosen, because the quotes can like just be so out of context, obviously, because you're only getting like a small snippet of a book. Junk journaling really took over the internet this year, and I took a more digital approach, and I loved using the app Paper for this. I actually want to find more ways to use Paper because I think it's such a special digital journaling app for the reason that you can really have a real authentic journal flip through experience. You're able to go through all your pages like you would a journal in the same way that you would in real life, but they found a way to do it in a digital form that I think makes it so much more pleasant to use. Definitely feel like the second half of the year I used it less than the first half of the year, so I want to kind of get back into it, but I had to mention it because this app I think is spectacular if you're looking for somewhere to do some digital scrapbooking, digital memory keeping, even just like, you know, regular journaling. It's a fun one. I've talked about and shown myself putting together a lot of physical photo albums, printing photos, and like the magic of printing photos, and I love that experience. But admittedly, the whole point or the whole convenience of having photos on our phone is that it is so convenient. So I wanted to find a way to still like be able to enjoy the photos on my phone a little bit more rapidly than just like, you know, waiting every 6 months to go do like a print at a photo store. And I feel like the Aura frame has been a really nice solution to that. It allows me to just like simply share any photos I want to the Aura app, and then it displays those photos throughout the day. You can customize like how often the photos change in your frame. I think there's just something naturally personal about having photos displayed in your home. It adds that warmth, that touch. I turn 28 soon, and admittedly I'm suffering from more neck shoulder pain than I like to admit, and I think that has to do with the fact that I do so much work at my computer. A lot of hours are spent editing on a computer screen, as I'm sure many of you have experience with your jobs. So I invested in an iPad tilt and a laptop tilt this year. Absolutely necessary purchases. Not super expensive from Amazon, but just makes it so that my devices can be more at eye level, so I'm not doing like a ton of straining. Not a sexy favorite item, but you know what is sexy? No neck pain, no shoulder pain, no pain at all. We love normalcy. This was a really stressful year for me, and I really leveraged tools to help me feel more at ease and to help like just calm myself down. One of them being something I access completely free, which are frequency sounds or frequency audios on YouTube. You can just look up like healing hertz or calming hertz, de-stressing hertz frequencies, blah, blah, blah. Very spa-like sounds. They're not like music, they're sounds that are repetitive and almost feel like they have a beat or a life within them. I feel like audio has this power of instantly changing the energy of a room. Like, and I mean that like even with music. When I put on music that's happy or music that's sad, like you feel that shift when you're operating in your space with that being in the background. That same experience happens when I'm using frequencies. It just like creates a zen. Instant zen in wherever I am at, whether I'm at home or I'm on the go, I'm sitting on public transport, I'm walking somewhere. Another form of audio I've really loved on YouTube is reading music. So these are more like instrumentals. There's usually an accompanying cozy fall scene or winter scene at a cafe with like steam from a coffee cup or steam from a fire going. It just is like instant coziness. I love playing these on in the background while I'm reading. Creates like a new environment for me to escape away from. My journal has been such a huge self-care tool for me this year. I've talked endlessly about my habit of doing the morning pages, which is 3 pages every morning of stream of conscious writing. This has been my 4th journal of 2024. All of the journals though I've used this year for this practice has been Leuchtturm 1917 journals. These are like classic for a reason. I feel like Leuchtturm 1917, Moleskines, they're reliable, they're classic, they come in so many different colors. I also really love this experience of customizing the cover of this Leuchtturm Sage cover by adding stickers. I just adore them so much, so if you're planning on doing some journaling this year, definitely recommend giving them a go. I also love adding my pen to the top here. I don't think you're really supposed to do that. They do technically have pen loops that you can buy for these, but that is my pen loop kind of works. Crocheting has been such an activity of peace for me this year, and believe it or not, I am going to include one of my favorite yarns that I've had this year, because whenever I have to make a project out of the burnout blanket yarn, I just feel happy. This is a size 6 yarn, and it's so cozy and great for when I'm making like little stuffies. This is the yarn that I use to make like my little crochet chickens. Like, this is so soft and cuddly and cozy. You just want to like squish it. I used it to make this bee and like just so many different projects this year. And one thing I've learned about crocheting is that the pattern can be great, but if it's not a good yarn that you're using, then it kind of just makes the project feel lackluster. But I never feel lackluster when I'm using a burnout yarn. So big fan of this one. I didn't use burnout yarn for this project, but I crocheted a blanket this year, a whole daisy blanket. It was a pain in the butt to do, don't get me wrong, but like just was able to tackle so many beautiful projects, and I can't wait to keep diving into it more in 2025. I have a whole video too on like crocheting 101 if you want to get started on this hobby in 2025. I encourage it or like advocate it for it so much because I think it's really neat to embrace a hobby that does have so much practicality to it. Yes, this is a fun hobby, but crocheting is also a skill, and it's a skill that can be then transferred to making like really functional things, like not crochet chickens, but maybe you want to make like your own sweater or your own top or your own purse. This is definitely a newer item that I've experimented with. It is a heating pad. Once you turn it on, you can control the heat temperature and the timer with this little remote. And I just feel like it's really helpful when I'm just uncomfortable for whatever reason. Sometimes it's muscle pain, sometimes it's cramps. Usually when I need heat, I will use like a hot water bottle. The hot water bottles sometimes are like too hot, or sometimes it's just a weird shape to use on certain areas of your body. This has a lot more flexibility because it can like be molded a little bit more. I feel like there are more things I could talk about, but we gotta hit the pause somewhere. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I personally just really loved looking back at the year and using this as an opportunity to think about, yeah, what things did make my life better this year. Obviously things aren't everything, but yeah, things do sometimes add easeability and fun and joy. And that makes me really curious. What are the things this year? What are some of your 2024 favorites? This is the final video that I'm filming this year, so I do want to just take a little opportunity to have a sappy moment of complete gratitude and just allowing me to express my sincere thank yous for all of you for supporting me this year and for so many years now. I honestly, I say it all the time, but like I pinch myself all the time that I get to do this for a living and that I get to spend so much time being creative. Even like this holiday season, I just had so many pinch me moments of being like, wow, I get to like create tissue box covers and figure out how to sew an ornament and call that work in a way. It is such a cool job to have, and the fact that like I get to do these fun things that I love doing and then I get to share it with you and we get to share the joy in that is the coolest thing in the world. So again, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful end of year holiday season. Please also let me know in the comment section, you know, what you loved this year, what you weren't loving this year in terms of content, what you'd like to see more of, because I definitely will take that into consideration as we head into 2025. When I come back in 2025, I am going to be tackling some new planning videos because I've got new planning goodies. I probably haven't been this excited for new planning goodies in years. Like these things I'm integrating, I'm just like, I'm so ready for it. I'm excited to share and bring you along with the journey. So stay tuned for that. And until then, ciao guys.